Welcome to Photoshop Killer Tips, brought to you by the National Association of Photoshop Professionals. Here's your host, Matt Kloskowski.
This week, I'm going to do a theme on layer style tips. So every tip throughout the week here will be on using layer style. So let's go ahead and get to the first one. I've got a photo on a separate layer here. I'm going to double click on it, and we're just going to add a quick layer style. I'm going to go to stroke. I'm going to go to a color. Let's go to white. We'll put a little white border around this, and we'll go to inside here, and I'll increase the width a little bit. So that's not the tip, though. The tip really is once we get to this point where we've added this white border around, we want to add a drop shadow. Okay. Well, what you can do with a lot of your layer styles is instead of changing the angle and the distance settings inside of the sliders here, okay, you can choose all that there, but when you move your cursor over the image, when you see that arrow with the little kind of up, down, right, left arrow next to it, that means you can move that layer style around visually. So you don't have to tweak the sliders. You can actually just come in here, and sometimes, people just find it a lot easier to just visually get in there and just position something the way that you want to, and then you can always come back here, change your opacity and things like that. And it doesn't just work with your drop shadows. If you come inside, if I went to an inner shadow, and let's make it pretty obvious because it's a little bit hard to see, but you can see I've added an inner shadow. Again, I can use my cursor to go in there and change it. If I go to inner glow or outer or inner glow, look at the cursor. It's now a hand. That means it doesn't have the ability to change anything. It's just going to move the image. And that's how you'll know whether or not you can change what you're doing. If you see a hand, it means you can't do anything. If you go in there and you see the actual cursor, like a gradient, it means that you can come in and change it.